Welcome to Tuned Restoration. In this video we'll be doing the 1999 Women's Air Max Plus Rainbow colourway. Start by removing the laces and also the insole, and slowly start to pull away the crumbled sole from the upper. Then, using a blunt knife, we'll start to remove all the crumbled sole down to the glue line of the upper. Now using acetone and cotton pads, we'll now start to rub away at the old crumbled sole and glue on the upper. You don't need to go all the way up to the old sole line with the acetone and cotton pad, as we can tackle that with the Dremel in the next step. Now using the Dremel we'll start to remove that old crumbled mudguard, as it will not make a perfect bond with the glue, so we need to remove this to get the best contact surface for the glue when bonding the upper. Again, with the cotton pads and the acetone, we'll just go over that surface we've just cleaned up, just to get it all perfectly clean, ready to get the glue on. Now we'll start to clean up the donor sole surface using acetone and cotton pads. If you want to know how to remove them, go check out the other video on my page. Just using an acetone and cotton pad will just take all the old glue off. You can use a Dremel as well to just remove that top layer of glue, which will make for a better bond. Now we'll just fit the template inside the shoe and also under the sole. Now using a sock I'm going to fill out that upper so that we don't get any movement and also a good contact with the elastic band. Here's some of the stuff we're going to be using. If you just watch through the video and see how I use them, then you can get an idea of how to do it when coming to clamp the upper and donor. Now we're going to apply the first coat of glue, making sure we get all of the contact surface of the donor sole. Once we've applied the glue, we can leave it to touch dry. Once that's left to dry, we can get the upper and we can do the first coat on there, making sure you get all of the area that the sole is going to come into contact to, and again making sure we don't apply a lot of glue. You can try to apply a bit more glue around the edges. Obviously you will get seepage when you come to bond it to the donor. We can leave the upper to dry and we can move on to the second coat on the Dawn of Soul, again making sure we get all around the contact areas of the sole and making sure we don't apply too much, and then we can leave that again to touch dry. Now on to the second coat of the upper, again same process as the first step, and then we can let that touch dry and then we can move on to the process of bonding it to the Dawn of Soul. We're using a hairdryer or heat gun. We're just going to get some heat onto the glue to soften that glue up, ready for the bonding process. Now comes the tricky part of lining it all up, so make sure you get some practice in lining the upper and the donor with no glue on, so you get a feel of how to line it up. Now I'm just putting all the spaces in so that I can use the adjustable clamp to clamp it down. Now using elastic bands, starting from the shank, we work our way up through each groove of the tread, as you can see, just to hold the elastic band. Make sure you double up each elastic band to get some good contact pressure, and we just go all the way up to the toe box of the upper. Now with the template of the sole, we place it underneath with a spacer and elastic band at the toe to keep that in a line. Also make sure that your spacers in the heel are all in line and have the non-slip pads grips in between each one so it doesn't slip off when you apply the pressure. Once all your templates are in line, get some pressure on that heel and just watch that quick release button, because I have a tendency to hit it and have to do it all again. And then what we need to do is just get some elastic bands around that toe box just to make sure we get a good bond right at the very end of the toe. And then what we can do is we can squeeze that together and use masking tape just to hold that for a bit more extra pressure to keep it all in line. Leave it clamped for at least 6 hours before removing the elastic bands and the clamps. Allow 72 hours of cure time on the glue before wearing. And here is the end result, along with some on-foot shots for you. Thanks for tuning in to Tuned Restoration. Hopefully I'll be back with some more TM restorations for you very shortly. In the meantime, my Instagram's there in the bottom left if you want to keep up to date with all the content, and also please remember to like and subscribe to this channel.